Welcome, everyone. Live mass generation. Last we met internet politics. When they friend from visiting superheroes. It was very dramatic and I don't know if everyone else is getting that echo.
I'm not getting any echo.
Now.
All right. I'm gonna take my headphones out. All right. How about now? How's that doing? How's that doing?
Are we
I can
echoing?
hear you. You're not. Kids were out all night, and just got time for the school day. And so let's the team. Let's starting with the person on my left.
That's your left.
Okay.
That's your left. Who's on your left? Who's on your left?
Dan, this is my Twitch channel on which Simon is doing an incredible job of hosting an incredible game on, and I am playing Prometheus. I am playing the Scions playbook, which means that I am a hero that is the child of a supervillain. Do you want to go next, Emrys?
Certainly. I am my own audio, so be aware of that.
Let's keep it going.
You next.
All right. I'm playing normal people. Super smart.
And bringing up the rear, you have Bird, Sporty of Valley. I am child of anywhere, because soldier.
Boo hiss.
What kind of
Superheroes really
yeah.
Say it like that. Your degree of
Wow.
Right. So prior starting night session. Decided they were going to try to make despite staying up all night adventuring.
Everyone
Constitution check?
I feel like this might be a mundane routine.
I have negative one.
As do I.
I have nothing in mundane. Kind of crazy, but I think that I'm one of the most mundane in the team.
basically, I'm gonna ask you all to make some mundane rolls as you sit down for homeroom with.
Got any sleep last night? How are we supposed to think about tomorrow night?
Wow.
And with that, I make my mundane roll. I can't see because my Skype window blocks it. 6. Oh, nope. No.
I thought you were skipping class today.
As a group, we decided we were going, so someone's got to keep you guys in mind. Most definitely not going to be me.
I mean, it's easier on my end if you all like do the same things. You don't have to make like branching scenarios.
Oh, that failed roll gets me to mark a potential, which is enough to level up.
Oh, I gotta mark another potential because I failed too.
All right, here we go.
That's a nice pair of 6s for me and Cly.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's.
I rolled a 2, Simon.
I see that you rolled a 2. That is, I know that our audience doesn't necessarily see that, but that 2 is that. Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, that will also mark my final potential.
That's kind of hilarious that we're leveling up from sleeping through class. I just want to say that.
I mean, that seems fine. If we're not, if the decision is not to go to school, I would like to use one of my moves, if that is okay, Mr.
Well,
GM.
I think the decision was to go to school.
Oh, the decision was to go to school? I thought somebody just said we were sleeping through class.
No, we're making mundane
we failed.
rolls to see if we do it or not. So far, not a one of us has managed to pass a mundane roll to stay awake through class.
So yeah, the thing was you'd make a mundane roll to see if you can
Suffer through.
Hey, look
No,
at
really?
that. Look at that. I got a
Nobody.
-1, and I still got an 11.
Absolutely no one likes you, Victor.
teacher's pet.
I'm pretty sure he used a spell.
Yeah, I was
to do
gonna
that.
say, canonically, I just, like, made myself, like, the Harry Dresden, like, bunch of Red Bulls and, like, a little bit of, like, cocaine magic potion to, like, make myself stay awake.
And didn't feel the need to share with the rest of us.
All right, so here's what happens. Eris, you didn't fall asleep, but you don't remember anything that teacher was saying. Clymene, you didn't fall asleep, but that's basically only because you were sitting next to Hectorb, who was like, "Hey man, just I got your back. Just keep your head up."
Awesome.
Because he still thinks that you're kind of the rabble rouser.
Well, I mean, he's not entirely wrong.
He didn't say he was wrong, but you know, your pal just like, "Hey, just head up."
I'm gonna owe him 1. I'm gonna make a note, my character note, so I'm gonna owe him 1 for helping keep me awake.
Victor, you were actually awake for all of this. So you were able to respond to the question that your homeroom teacher is asking, which is that I've been getting, a lot of you have been coming to me privately saying that you don't feel that you've had enough time to prepare your proposals or the Community Outreach Project.
That's correct. We haven't really had enough time to get to know the neighborhood well enough to make anything remotely close to a plan of action. I don't think as outsiders, we can evaluate what a community wants and has identified as their own needs in that amount of time.
Professor Harold, if this is how all of you feel, I've taken it up with the Athenian, and we have agreed that all groups may have an additional week in which to research their neighborhoods and prepare a proposal. Peace notes there.
Well, we won't let you down.
You had better not, because we are giving you this extra week. We are going to be evaluating your submissions that much more stringently.
Okay. I mean, we will do our best.
And Victor, do tell your teammates that our attendance requirement is not just that they be present, but also that they be awake.
And I say absolutely, and I just kind of draw with my index finger on the desk a little sigil, and all of them get like a little zap.
And we'll see if that endears you to the team.
Jesus Christ.
I think that canonically it happened the same time Hector was poking me, so I'm like, dude, nice buzzer.
I'm awake.
All right, so essentially, I'm going to say that the lot of you sort of stumble your way somehow through the day, get through your classes, and we can get to that juicy teen drama that we're all here for.
That sounds great.
And I'll leave it in your hands.
So the first thing, I had something in mind specifically that I wanted to start doing in regards to what happened last session between me and Eris and our discussions of her powers and her, in an ideal world, not wanting, or at least she articulated to me that she would want to be normal if she could be. So as part of that, I'd like to start really digging into a lot of the magic that I wasn't really old enough to dive into before I left the Order, and utilize my move, All the Best Stuff, to try to see what I can rustle up as far as really cool spells that will help me as far as unbinding the spirit that my mother grafted onto Eris Discordia.
Okay.
Alright, so basically what I'm going to need to do is roll a danger move. Let me go over. And basically what I have on my sheet as a Scion says that because of my connections to supervillainy through my parent or parents, I have access to secret caches that other people are not aware of in the superhero world, but I'm not supposed to utilize them. So
Because you've been kicked out.
Yep.
And you've already been caught once.
I have already been caught once. but the things we do for our friends. And Roll20 just bug splatted on me, so give me a second. And also, Balder is getting in my business. Here, give me a second. Roll20 just hard crashed, so I don't have my sheet up.
While Roll20 is hard crashed on Dan, since I very pointedly no longer have a communicator, I figure until his comes back, I can kind of realize that I'm going to be sending a text to Daedalus through the good old-fashioned cell phone from the community kitchen.
What?
Okay.
Are you going to come?
What does the text say exactly?
Would you mind coming to the kitchen? I want to say something.
All right, I'll head on down.
So you're going to see basically like 3 monster cans and like eggs and flour and sugar and like a whole bunch of things that is somehow not all over the place yet.
Monster cans, like Monster energy drink cans.
Yeah, Dan does Magic Red Bull, I do Monster, whatever. I'm sorry, Victor does Magic and Red Bull, and I do Monster.
You didn't actually drink all those, did you?
There's only 3 of them. Well, actually, the first thing I do is once you come in, I'm going to look at you very first time and go, I don't think you're an idiot.
I'm glad I'm not.
I was like, you are literally the smartest person here, with or without superpowers. That's arguable, and I don't think either of us are in a mood to even jokingly put you through an IQ test with and without my powers on. You are not an idiot. So, I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry. I figure you're smart enough to know the only reason I said anything of the sort yesterday was because I needed just a little something to put Swift off balance to get him to slip up. And he did. But I could see that it stung.
Right.
And I'm sorry.
I pick up one of the cans and smell it. Are you sure there's nothing else in here besides Monster?
Maybe I might have spilled some of the sugar earlier. I got both confectioners and granular, and I'm not sure which I'm supposed to be using.
I'm going to say, look, I don't think you're a bad guy. I really don't. It all turned out okay in the end, and that's really what's important.
You know, that's what I was thinking, but now I'm really not so sure. And at this point, I'm going to open up one of the team moves, which is when I share a vulnerability or weakness with someone. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. When I share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence over you, which I believe you already have, and ask them who they'd like you to be. So, you know, not so much in direct words. It's like, would you prefer that I be someone who doesn't care as long as it's done? Would you prefer I be someone who is willing to just let it happen even if I could get it done by doing something that you guys don't like? What do you want out of a teammate? I'm going to take a sip out of the bowl and go, this tastes horrible. I need to start over, and just dump it in the garbage can. Granulated confectioners it is.
I completely distracted by the number of cans laying about. I'm like, I don't think it's so polarly one or the other. I think they've got to find some middle ground. I mean, you can't be a dick all the time, but if something needs to be said, it's got to be said. So you got to find the happy medium.
Right now, I think between the fight we had, scouting out, and yesterday's incident, I think I'm leaning a bit too hard on the being a dick. No.
Probably. But
I wanted to also let you know I can reach out, I can apologize, and that's legit what I'm trying to do here. No strings attached. I'm sorry.
I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Alright, I am back, and I got my stuff fixed.
Wonderful.
Sweet.
All right. So, real quick, I'm going to be rolling all the best stuff, which is this move that I have that enables me to access these caches that other people do not know exist. Let's see how that goes.
So while he's rolling that, are you in the act of what are you making?
What am I making? I'm not
No,
making.
no. I'm talking to Climany. What are you making? Because this is a mess.
Yes, I think it is. I'm making a different topology.
Is that mint?
No,
What
that
are you
actually
doing with mint.
that container is pepper. The mint is over there.
Roll for cilantro resistance.
Pepper and mint?
Then I'm gonna pick them up. I'm gonna go. Wait a minute, that was the mint. No wonder it was so awful.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Well, you're gonna.
I feel bad for whoever is eating whatever this concoction is that you're putting together.
I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to say in all seriousness, you've never actually had my cooking.
No, I haven't, but... right. We'll just leave it.
You're going to mention that the vast majority... not vast majority, but at least 3 known serial killers have had mint chocolate chip ice cream as their last meal.
Interesting. Good to know. My aversion to it is justified.
Eris has not done one murder yet.
I think we've learned something important about Dan tonight.
You've punctuated that yet awfully firmly.
So unlike my cake, unlike Daedalus's opinion of my cake, Dan is about to roll all the best stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I failed that roll. I got a 6.
Oh!
Shit.
Well, you mark potential, and that's failure number 2 after you were warned.
Yeah, so what was happening is basically the way I imagine this is I was frantically jumping to libraries that the Order utilizes for its more dangerous magical ingredients and more esoteric tomes. And I was not able to find what I was looking for, so I kept jumping around very haphazardly. And when I was coming out of a mirror in one of the private study rooms, and I was basically doing the teleportation, I remembered for a moment seeing a book of this type in one of my my mother's personal libraries at her like one of her covens, and I teleported myself there instead of to one of the actual like libraries or caches, basically jumping to some place where people are almost guaranteed to be instead of places where that are frequently unoccupied, and I was noticed by probably more than one person.
No people, Dan. No people were there.
That
That
doesn't sound very comforting, Simon.
You are, however, noticed by a flaming wheel levitating and made of eyes.
Okay.
That sounds terrifying.
An angel.
Something like that, yeah.
So, do I have an influence over Null Zone now? Is that a thing or no?
Everybody already had one, because at the start of the game, 3 team members get it, and there's 3 of you.
Okay, I didn't have that one marked. All right, got it. Sorry.
Anyway,
it was with you the whole time.
I didn't even know.
the wheel of fire, wheel of fiery eyes says, "You were warned, child. Your mother's reputation cannot protect you forever."
Do I recognize this being? If the answer is no, the answer is no. But
the answer is no.
Okay, but I'm just like, okay, because if I don't recognize it, like if it isn't like a being that I'm aware of, I'm going to directly engage a threat and try to escape. Is it making moves to stop me or anything, or detain me in any way?
No, right now it's just sort of like hovering from side to side. And as it does this, you can see various eyes along its circumference focusing in on you and then sort of looking at other things as other eyes focus on you.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry about me. And you would do well to remember that.
Do not return here.
Yeah, whatever. I go back into the mirror. And I'll jump back out. Man, it would be great if this move that my character is built around worked even one time. But I'm certainly farming a lot of experience off of it.
It worked once.
And, you know, making enemies, so...
That's helpful.
Oh, it is also it is also worth noting that whenever I am doing magic of any kind, I have my costume. I mean, this person obviously knew who I am. But in general, unless stated otherwise, if I am doing magic, I'm wearing my costume.
Yes, I'm sure the domino mask would have defeated his...
No, right. Him specifically, but I'm saying as a general rule of thumb, don't ever assume that I'm, like, teleporting around the world with my face out.
Right.
Alright. Yeah, so that didn't work, but I will find that... So, I jump back into my room, sweaty, I'm scared, I turn back into my uniform, which has, like, been completely sweated through, and the facade, strong facade breaks, and I start, like, drawing, like, a map on my computer on, like, Google Earth of, like, various places that I've been that don't have mirrors that I haven't jumped to before that could potentially have this book. I'm going to start making note of places where I can go to find the tome that I need.
Okay.
My best friend.
Alright, so that's me.
Emrys.
Well, I mean, a couple fictional hours need to pass here. Things have to bake, after all.
Not for hours.
Baking takes.
Please, not for hours.
Well, I mean, it's got a 15 minutes a layer, and I've got to actually get the mix right. I figure with the number of monsters I've hopped up, it's probably an hour and a half.
Okay. If you're doing like a number of separate layers, I guess that could do it.
Julius, don't worry. You're at the other end of the fucking building in the lab.
Yeah, I'm making him a new communicator is what I'm doing.
I also want it noted that I did not ask for that, because that would have been like, hey, I want to apologize. Oh, by the way, will you give me this gadget? I did not do that.
No, you didn't, but it's a necessary evil.
If nothing else has anything, nobody else has anything to do.
I also have my flying suit that I can work on, so I mean, there's that.
No, I'm going back to my room and painting I'm doing, like, I am taking a self-care day. That was fucking ridiculous. Like, you're gonna come in and, like, her hair is gonna be up, and she's gonna have, like, a green mask on and be like, this better be fucking worth it.
Okay. While you're sort of relaxing, your roommate, Aranyana, sort of comes back and says, hey, Eris, you doing okay, roomie? You looked a little worse for wear in homeroom.
Well, I was up late.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't come home last night.
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
It was nothing. Like, yes, I'm fine. It was not, I was out, like, doing stuff. But not, like, stuff.
Okay,
stuff.
rad.
Like,
was it fun? Was it cool? Like,
no, it was not cool. It was not fun. It went very badly. So I am going to do
Did
my
you get
face.
digits at least?
What? Did I what?
Digits. Did you get his number?
No. Oh my god, it wasn't like stuff. It was like hero stuff.
Lame.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god, that is fantastic, especially considering what's coming.
I mean,
So I guess
people are still teens. We're still teens. We're just lucky that in this game my character is not a reflection of what I was like when I was a teenager. I saw the face you made, Bridget.
I like. Well, no, that was like if we were playing me as a reflection of a teenager, like literally nothing would get done. Nothing would get done. I was such a fraidy cat.
Yeah.
so. I guess the big question is she still there when I arrive?
Oh, my roommate? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I am all for public embarrassment. Like, this is public shaming. You fucked up.
Seems great.
I don't know how this cake is being presented.
Well, right now she doesn't know it's a cake unless you've been blabbing.
A keck.
This is more Ada.
Yeah. No, I mean, unless you're like in character texting, Calamity is baking and I'm scared. She doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, I
Are
don't
you
think that
kidding
thought
me?
rode across my mind.
Yeah, no, we don't text each other. I'm afraid of him. I like him too much to actually like reach out.
So I'm going to be knocking at the door with a green box.
Okay.
A green box.
A green box. About
Yeah,
probably about yay big. No, my bottom half's not really visible, but it's just
That's-
off screen.
It's cake
Subs-
size, yeah.
Substantial.
About a minute before you get to the door, Arignani tells you, Eris, something's coming. Don't know
Oh man,
what.
that her roommate would have a real hard time dating. If she had premonitions, that would really take a lot of the excitement out of dates.
Well, she has a very sensitive sense of smell because
I
of her
see.
animal powers.
I gotcha. I was gonna say if she had like premonitions, man, that would make dating really boring.
And then, I'm going to knock on the door.
I just wrote down that my roommate thinks I'm lame.
Yeah. She extends her claws.
Okay,
for
I'm
one of-
gonna.
one of
Do
her
we have a
hands, just in case?
Do we have a peephole or something, or do I
Like
have
a
to like?
what?
Yeah, what's the setup of the dorm rooms? Are we in like repurposed apartment buildings, or is it like formal dormitories?
I mean, it's dormitories, but they have peepholes.
But you know what I mean. Like a lot of city colleges, and by city colleges I mean literally colleges in cities, not public schools.
Yeah, they use old, repurposed.
like apartment buildings that they turn into like suites and stuff. And they're always terrible, and the electricity is usually shit.
I mean, this is probably like 60s or 70s construction,
Right.
so it's
But
like
it's-
a lot of cinder blocks. It's a lot of sort of like cement stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, the riot stairs where they like go around.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh, what, the four corner, like half a flight, like the square ones? Is that what you're talking about?
You know, I don't remember learning that. I just know that they're stairs they're literally for preventing riots in student dorms.
Yeah, so it's
Interesting.
basically from that era.
All right, well, yeah, like I'm gonna see that it's Cly, and I'm gonna like roll my eyes at her and like wave her away. Clymene, I want you to know, like she is opening the door in like a matching pajama set. Think like, oh god.
Are you wearing like a mask? Like a not
Yeah, I'm wearing
a
a mask.
superhero mask, but like a
Like
exfoliating
like-
mask.
Yeah, like it's like a gray charcoal exfoliating mask, and like her hair's wet up in a towel, and
It's not bright green.
No, it's not bright green.
Oh.
It's charcoal's all the rage now, and she's got like shit with like
Supernatural pants.
she did her toenails and like her toes are separated. Like she's not trying to be cute right now, at all. And she's just gonna open the door like, help you?
Can I come in?
You just completely stalled me out because I don't. You said some shit, Clymene. Like, I don't know that she would let you in the door.
Well, if you say that, I said that's what I want to talk about.
He's like, I brought a cake.
No, I am not saying that. That is a surprise. That's not actually going to be opened for a while.
This mint and black licorice cake. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'll like. He is my teammate. I will. I'm not. She's not like talking, so she's
It's
gonna
one of
like,
those.
Got one of those.
exactly.
That deal.
She's gonna.
Because
She's
you
gonna
gotta
walk in.
figure it apart so you don't get any of the stuff you got on your nails when you're waving me in.
Just straight walk away from him.
Yeah, I walk away and leave the door open and like go back to like sitting on my bed with my feet up on my desktop, and I'm gonna finish like my pedicure. Not trying to be cute. No, like
Yeah.
absolutely no worries about your opinion of her right now at all.
Okay.
That's fine. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to see your roommate there, and I'm just kind of going to do a double take. I'm like, well, this is more ears than I expected.
Problem? It's her room too.
Yes, it is. I guess it's up to you if it's a problem because it's our team.
Well, I'm not the one causing dissension in the ranks now, am I?
Clymene, would you feel better if I stayed?
It really doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind
No,
of put
sorry,
the
I misspoke there. That was supposed to be Eris. Would you feel better if I stayed?
I can take care of myself. You can stay and watch the. You can stay and watch the T-spell.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to, once I'm seeing her, I'm kind of going to put my hand in a peculiar gesture I use when I'm calming something. I'm going to put that on my own head.
Start talking. Arinyani Priya does sort of like extend her claws and start slowly filing them very conspicuously.
All right. At that, I'm gonna say, like, look, I'll owe you one. I'll do your nails next week. Like, you know,
No,
or I'll
it's
do
fine.
your hair. Like, go ahead. I don't need backup. I can take him if he does anything.
She nods and walks out the door. As she goes out the door behind his back, she looks back at you and points at her ears.
I'm gonna wink. Girl code. I love it.
Alrighty, so, first off, I wanted to say, you're not an idiot. At least, I don't think you're one.
Could have fooled me.
Mm-hmm. It's like, over the past couple of days, we had some actual situations. After talking with some of the others, I've been a bit more results over personal interaction. And after you're snapping at me about how no one actually needs me last night, that got me thinking. So I came in to apologize. I'm just going to see if you're going to get any actual reaction or not.
She's gonna stop. She's gonna like stop and like cap the nail polish so she doesn't drip on her desk, and be like, "You're actually apologizing. Like you acknowledge that that was a messed up thing to say without establishing a base with us first."
Okay, holding up the out of character sign here. We have been at this for over 6 months. months because this is our second semester. So I was thinking character. I think a bit of a base was established.
Well, no, like
But
it was a tactic that wasn't discussed. We didn't go into this saying, okay, here's who's going to have the silver tongue. Here's who's going to throw other people under the bus. Like, we didn't establish like a signal for, I am playing bad cop. You are playing good cop. I'm going to say some shit, and it doesn't exactly need to stick. Like, she had no idea what was coming going into that.
Now I see what you meant. So, that's actually a pretty good way of wording what I was going to respond. It's like, yeah, we didn't go over anything like this, and I took initiative, and it worked. But I can see maybe it didn't work the best. So I was coming in. If we're going to be a team, we need to figure out how to make it work, and that starts with actually making some amends here. So that's what I came here to do. It seems like over the past week, the entire tune of how at least things between us went from kind of a, joshing with each other a lot, and just kind of fell absolutely flat. So I wanted to know what we could do to try to get it back on tune. And that is where I figured I would drop the dice roll. What I want to do is pierce the mask, because what that is trying to do in game mechanics, I'm trying to do pierce the mask to get the what could I do in the future to get influence over you. But, if I said that to somebody in their dorm room, hey, Dan, how can I get influence over you? That would be creepy as balls.
Well, it's supposed to be a representation of that. You can ask it different ways, though.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing. That's kind of how I'm drawing. And depending on this roll goes, depends on a lot, role-playing wise. Survey says 8. That is a hit. So it does succeed. I do get to ask the one question, and that one question is how could I get influence over you? So how can we change this? I kind of go work back to where we were before.
Okay. I'm going to lead with the out of character, because in character, I don't know how she would say this, but out of character, Bird is telling Emerus the way to get influence over her, the way to get her to give a shit what Clymene thinks of her, is he needs to start being more honest with her. In like not honest, but like more sincere, because that's what she's really looking for, is sincerity, and people that are going to treat her like a normal teenage girl, instead of what he said last time, where he was like, oh, everything thinking of everything you've lost. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't she wants to act like she hasn't lost anything. Like, she wants to just be a normal teenage girl.
Yeah.
In character, I think Eris is going to she's going to put the nail polish down, and she's going to say, we have done a lot of joking around. We have done a lot of, poking at each other and saying things that aren't necessarily true. So maybe we should start coming at each other with a little more sincerity and a little less levity.
I think we can do that. What you could...
We can joke around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can be friends as well as teammates, but I think we have to start working before we play.
I just kind of get a nod. So, then I'm kind of just going to go to the end of the bed. I'm just going to kind of put down the box. I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to direct you to look at it. I'm just going to put it there on the edge of the bed. I'm going to go, let's work on this after some sleep. Right now I'm running on sugar and caffeine. And then I'm just going to leave.
That's it? Oh my gosh, she's so confused by him. She's so confused by him. Okay, she's gonna open it, and what does she see?
So, you remember, there's actually going to be a note on it that says, you said you really liked this one at the Halloween party.
On the top cover of the fucking thing.
And then there's going to be a cake. You can't tell what type of cake it is, except for the fact that it has, I believe we discussed it, it was, there are strawberries kind of on the outside and like a kind of green icing, but like in pepper, it reads, "I'm truly sorry." Just kind of on top of the mint.
Like whole peppercorns?
No.
No, like ground black pepper.
Incredible.
Look, it's a gourmet dessert, okay? We go to like the most bougie school in the entire city. All right, so I guess she's gonna call Priya back and be like, "Hey, let's split a cake."
Okay.
And I'm going to enjoy my strawberry and mint and black pepper cake, Julius.
There's no.
Shortcake under it.
I just can't have chocolate, onions, grapes, or raisins.
Yeah, there's none of that here. What she is gonna do? She's gonna offer Priya a piece because Priya lives here, and then she's going to cut it so that the eye. Sorry, she's going to cut it so that the eye is like cut at an angle, so that it has the top crossbar and then the part that comes down and over, and it kind of looks like a J. And she's gonna put that part in a little Tupperware and put it in the refrigerator for tomorrow. And then while Priya's eating her piece, she's gonna take the whole cake and she's gonna go to Victor's room, because Victor is my best friend, and he was really super distressed the other night. He was like, his eyes were bleeding, and then he was crying, and then he was like looking at the other guy like he was apologizing for some shit that he didn't even do. And now I have this whole cake that I'm not going to eat myself because I'm a teenage girl and watching my finger. I'm gonna split it with my friend, and I'm probably not even gonna like knock on the door. I'm gonna be holding the cake and I'm gonna kick the door.
So as you walk down the hallway towards my dorm room, you notice that I'm actually sitting in one of the common rooms at one of like the big, like, 6-person rectangular tables, and I have my big deck of tarot cards that Victor uses for like sleight of hand and practicing like soft touch teleportation magic and like probability magic. Are you just gonna walk up on him, or are you gonna watch what he's doing for a minute? He also has a Powerade bottle next to him that is filled with a murky blackish gray liquid. Eris?
I'm thinking. I guess she's gonna like watch for a second to check if he's doing anything important.
So,
But remember, her idea of what's important is probably not your idea of what's important.
so it looks like there's a group of cards out on the table, and he uses magic to pick them up and shuffle them back into the deck, all except for the Magician card, which he puts into the deck, and then he just like shuffles it a bunch of times, and then when he pulls the top card of the deck, it's the Magician, right? And then he takes the Magician card and throws it across the room, out the open window, shuffles the deck, and then pulls off the top card, and it's the Magician. And then he keeps doing that over and over again, getting rid of the card, and then he takes a big pull off of the black liquid and throws the Magician card out the window again, or into the trash can. And when he goes to pull it, it's the Fool card, and he looks inside the deck, and you see him looking inside of the deck, and the Magician card isn't in the deck, it's still in the trash can.
Magic!
At that point, she's gonna like walk up and like drop the cake on the table next to him and be like, "Well, that's a relief. I'm glad that's over."
What? What are you talking about? I'm just practicing my sleight of hand.
Yeah, and the first couple times you obviously fucked up and got the wrong card.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. I got the wrong card all those first few times. What's this?
You're muted.
Oops, I forgot. She also brought 2 like plastic forks, and like we'll offer him one, and we'll literally just start like eating it out of the box, and be like, "Well, I wanted to check in and see how you were doing because last night was kind of tense."
I'm great. And he puts the cap on the Powerade bottle and tries very hard to nonchalantly put it away like it's nothing. But he also kind of like palms it so that it's not really visible to you as he just kind of like chucks it into his bag.
Oh, wait, no, because if he's going to try to like take it off the table, she's going to reach for it and try to like get it.
Okay.
And be like, "What the fuck?"
He's gonna say, "Oh no. You don't want to drink this. This is one of my energy potions, but I don't know how it would interact with your physiology as someone who has super strength. So don't drink that. Let me just put it away. I was just experimenting with a new formula." He is like clearly lying. Like, yeah, no, don't drink that.
She's gonna be like, she's gonna put it on, like put on the puppy dog. Like obviously she's like wiped off the mask at this point and probably like braided her hair down one side, so it's like she doesn't have any makeup on. She is still in her pajamas, but she's gonna put it on and be like, "Dude, what the fuck is going on with you?"
Nothing. I'm just doing some research. You know, it's really important that if I'm gonna try to use my magic to keep all of you safe and to keep myself safe, that I'm on the top of my game, and I'm always looking to understand all the things that I didn't get to learn from the Order because of all the things that they kept secret from me. But you know,
All right, but like,
if I can figure out some of the big magic things that my mom was always doing, and you know, do good things with those, then people will see that they don't have to be scared of magic. They don't have to be scared of people like me.
what scares me is when my best friend, who's supposed to be watching my back, is instead in tears, crying to a higher authority, like, "Please don't punish me for things that he never even did wrong." Like, what is going on?
What do you mean?
She's talking about this.
Yeah, I know what she's talking about. Eris, do you know? You understand? You've heard the term "wrong side of the tracks" before, right?
Yeah, I also know that it means positively dick.
Yeah, but heroes are some of the most biased people that exist, right? They have very strong feelings about who's bad and who's good, because in their lives, they have to make those types of snap judgments all the time. A lot of people have decided that since I was around my mom for so long, that there's no way that I'm good, and they're just waiting for me to fuck up. So yeah, I did go crying to Paragon. I called him in so we didn't end up in some black site somewhere getting tortured by the British government. Because if these people decide that you're bad or that you're too dangerous to be out in the public, that's it. So somebody like me, I'm one mistake away from a padded cell with a negation field wrapped around it. Right? Somebody like you, somebody like Clymene, they're going to give a million chances to. Because you're decent people coming from decent families. Somebody like me, they're waiting for me to prove to them that they were right not to trust me.
Ugh, Victor. Dan, he keeps hurting her feelings. I think she's gonna say. She's gonna say, at least you come from a family. Like they're gonna give you chances too. You have even more right to be here than I do. I'm here on your coattails.
I mean, we'll see how long I'm actually able to stay here. But yeah. And he's gonna he's gonna put the Powerade bottle away.
Yeah.
Dan, quick question. Are you going to eat this cake or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm eating the cake.
Okay.
I just want to interject.
I'm sure he's used to like her strange palate, and he's eaten weirder shit with her before.
I just want to interject that just in the fiction, the cake is at least as good as the one, like the hoity-toity one that we had at the Halloween party. It's actually legit an awesome cake, even if it's a weird palate.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to eat every bite of it I can. I'm just making everyone else eat some too, so I don't eat the whole fucking thing.
You know, I can believe that it is cooked with expert technique, even if it's not to everyone's taste.
There we go.
Emrys, thank you for indulging my weird palate.
It's all good. I mean, it's like on Chopped with the durian. Yes, anything you make with the durian is going to be awful, but it can at least be well made and awful.
I can say I felt like it would be more like on Nailed It if you watched that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good
Nailed
good
it.
reference.
You all suck.
Um,
All right, I had nothing.
Bridget, how mad is your character going to be if my character canonically smokes? Because I don't want every interaction our characters have to be you chastising me about smoking. That's not a trope that I'm interested in about.
I feel like, I mean, her parents are dead, and she has a dead goddess inside of her head. Like, I'm pretty sure she's like this close to smoking herself.
Okay, so one of the other things that you'll notice is at the end of this scene, because I do want to wrap up and let like Aaron have a turn to play, is he takes out a cigarette. And you've only ever seen him basically snap his fingers to generate like a small amount of flame to like light the cigarette. And he actually goes ruffling through his bag, like digging past a whole bunch of pens, and pulls out a lighter to light his cigarette.
No, she's gonna ask him if he got seen again.
Seen? No. Yeah, yes, but that's. I'm just tired. Don't worry about it.
She's absolutely going to like. Okay, yeah, Eris smokes too. Fuck it, but she only smokes because Victor smokes. Monkey see, monkey do. They're gonna split this cigarette, and she's gonna be like, "Okay."
Bad influence on you.
I was just worried, and then I'm gonna like ruffle his hair and I guess go to bed.
Just bring the cake back with you.
What's left of it.
All right, Aaron, what are you doing while these scenes are taking place? Sorry, Simon. I went back into my old mode for a second there.
Aaron, what's going on in the lab?
Well, I got to whip up a new communicator for Clymene, so there'll be some work being done on that. And I did have that little project I wanted to work on, so that make a little flying machine, maybe like a little jetpacky guy. So I'd probably be tinkering around with that.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. I have a serious question here, Mr. Super Genius. Does your stuff work on actual science, or is it something like Girl Genius where your super intellect actually kind of bends the laws of physics to make it work? I'm talking about Girl Genius, the webcomic, if you get what I'm referencing.
I really don't know.
Okay.
I'm inclined to say that it works on actual real science.
Okay.
maybe not necessarily science as we understand it in the real world, but yeah.
Like super theoretical stuff that 10 Stephen Hawking might be able to understand the first line of the blueprints because you are super smart.
Right.
But actual stuff.
Anything that you discover could conceivably be reverse engineered by someone of comparable intellect.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I just wanted to have that out there because if it was, supernaturally working by your own spark, that could pose
In the immortal
problems.
words of the hyper-intelligent raptor from Atomic Robo, I'm a genius, so by extension, any plan that I devise is brilliant.
Yeah, the dice tend not to agree with that statement.
Oh man. RNGesus has spoken.
I'm gonna say let's good that you're continuing work on your flight project. I'm gonna say let's give that a couple more sessions before that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't expect for that to be a short-term gain. It's a long-term goal to be able to have a useful piece of tech that we can utilize.
But thank you for reminding me of that.
Certainly.
Out of curiosity, are you thinking like
Thank you.
like a rocket thing or a gravity manipulator thing, or just because it's fun to get the fiction in there?
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely. It's kind of like a
Inspector
ramjet.
Gadget helicopter that comes out of your.
No, not that cliche. No, it's kind of like a ramjet. I'm thinking kind of basically it sucks in huge amounts of air and just superheats it and projects it out the back.
So, like a turbine engine?
Yes, kind of. Yeah. Not particularly super high tech, except for the miniaturization of it. That's the tricky part. And obviously the fuel source. The fuel source is going to be a little tricky to sort out.
Pure concentrated stress.
Yeah, that's unlimited power.
Yeah, that's unlimited power right there.
Okay.
I'll come up with some sort of eccentric fuel source for it and get that to you.
Excellent. So, all right, are you just spending the night in the lab, or are you going to actually go to bed at some point?
I'll probably fall asleep in the lab. It happens more often than I probably care to admit to the rest of the school.
I am 100% bringing him a big to-go mug of coffee along with a little piece of cake for breakfast tomorrow morning, unless you're planning on waking us up in the middle of the night again. When we meet up to discuss what we're actually going to do, since we got an extension on the project, I'm going to go to the labs because I know that's where Julius crashes most of the time. But I don't know if God has a plan for the nighttime while we're all sleeping.
All right.
God, I hope not, based on what I just did, but continue.
No, I mean, I can say you all blessedly fall asleep.
Caffeine and sugar crash.
Thank God.
Sleep through the night, and it's Saturday morning.
Everest, could you do me a favor? Could you move slightly to your right? You're slowly drifting out of frame. Thanks.
And I'm going to say that in the morning, Victor, you find a letter slid under your door.
Okay, I open it. Is it? I'm sorry. Is it addressed to me or is it addressed to my roommate? I just assumed it was addressed to me.
It is addressed to the young Argonauts.
Okay. What's it say? Who's it from?
Oh, so you do open it anyway. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the team leader.
No, of course. No, I can absolutely believe that Victor thinks of himself that way. I can absolutely believe that.
Yeah,
Perception is some reality.
Yeah.
Believe in the you who believes that he is team.
Believe in the me that believes in me. Is the...
Reality is 90% in your head.
All right. So
Perception is 9/10 reality. That's what I was going for.
It begins. Victor, you acted very bravely last night, but you've also entangled yourself in a very complicated issue. As you know, the Round Table has always billed itself as being an independent group of superheroes. But Minnie and Swift weren't acting on behalf of the Round Table. They were acting as duly appointed agents of Her Majesty's government, specifically the Special Projects Office. That means this isn't superhero business. This is politics business. As we speak, as I write this, rather, the issues are being negotiated by Aegis and the SPO. These are matters of state, matters that certain parties would prefer to keep discreet. So, here's the state of the negotiation as I understand it. Her Majesty's government will not pursue extradition of Minerva Cooper at the present time. Furthermore, Her Majesty's government will allow, quote, the creature to remain in Aegis custody for the time being, with access allowed by SPO observers. In return, Aegis is returning Swift to the custody of the SPO and allowing him to be repatriated to Britain. Aegis will permit observers from the SPO to gain access to the creature at all times. Both parties, Aegis and the SPO, are relying on the discretion of your team to ensure that the relevant individuals maintain the confidentiality that they are depending upon. I wish that your team had an easier entrance into our business, and I trust that you will break the news to them.
Ah, see, he knew I was going to read it first.
And I trust that you will break the news to them with tact and candor. Your friend, P.
Cool. All right, I'm going to go round up the team and relay that and say that basically we can avoid any kind of international situation or any issue with the school as long as we all keep our mouth shut, which means we don't get to tell anybody of our daring heroics from last, was it 2 nights ago now? 2 nights ago.
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
We just got to keep our mouth shut and pretend like that situation with that interaction with Swift and Minnie did not happen. But Paragon is on top of it, and he's making sure that she's safe and that our very large friend is going to be safe. He's not going to let them take advantage of either one of them. I mean,
Sounds like good news.
Well,
if you can't trust Paragon, who can you trust?
So it seems like we actually did save someone after all.
Yeah, we
I
did.
mean, I'm relieved that my giant pet is okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's being currently held by American men in black, not British men in black.
I mean, that's not necessarily better. I just feel better with Paragon involved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's more the fact that he's being held by American men in black, and he's not being held tiny by someone who's getting pumped through this weird concoction of another superhero's blood who could give
Right.
out at any time and cause him to expand and to for it with all the physics problems that entails.
Not to mention that would probably lead to him drowning in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
Do we count as members of Aegis? Like, do we get to go visit him, or are we not not part of the big kids yet?
Oh, we don't have like that level clearance. I'm gonna guarantee it.
Well, is Aegis our version of the Round Table, Simon?
Yeah. Aegis is your version of the Special Projects Office.
Oh, okay, because
it's
that's
a
what I was.
government- It's
Okay.
a government agency. So
Because I wrote.
the
'cause
Round
you said
Table
that.
is like the British Justice League. Aegis is like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, because you said that Aegis was negotiating with the SBO, and since Aegis is the ones that run our school, I was like, wait a minute, why are they getting into politics? But like, I get it now.
And in a weird way, and maybe I'm misinterpreting. It's not as Aegis is not as interventionist as S.H.I.E.L.D. is. It's more like the organization from the Incredibles movies, where it's just like it's a big bureau that like manages everything having to do with metahumans, but they're not like an interventionist government agency as much as S.H.I.E.L.D. is.
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe
not as much, but they are
Involved.
active. Like the S.H.I.E.L.D., the little S.H.I.E.L.D. expansion book.
The only one I don't have.
Yeah, deals with that a little bit, and they do have like soldiers and scientists, and like they have ground forces and such. They have a presence.
Right. Okay, cool.
They would probably wind up absolutely loving to recruit me.
Well, you'd make a great field
Maybe so.
agent.
Yeah.
So,
God.
I'll say that I'll say,
Just leaving.
Aaron, you
I
actually
was just
noticed
kidding.
something based on where you're sitting when Victor is reading this letter, which is that there is a watermark, and where you're sitting, you can see the light shining through it. And it's a rainbow in the pattern of an omega symbol.
I gotta look up the Omega symbol again.
It's the one that looks like an O with
On a
legs.
toilet seat.
It's a horseshoe with, it's a serif tool.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. Got it. Yep. Victor, did you see that? And I kind of snatch it from his hand.
What? The
Rude
paper?
boy.
The paper?
No, guys, look, and I hold it up right in front of the brightest light I can find in the room.
Do I recognize that sigil?
No. Although, to you it looks something more like it looks more like an old-timey keyhole.
To me?
Yeah. Like it.
What's it look like to me? What? Well, hang on. Do the two of them say, like, do you see the rainbow? Do you see the keyhole? Or
I mean, sure, I can.
boys?
No. I guess. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, first of all, I'm able to see the watermark once he points it out to me.
Right.
So he says, "Do you see this?" And you all see it. I'm just saying that the pattern the design is stylized enough that it could pass for either of those things, and
Okay.
that your particular set of associations, Victor, because you're the most conversant with those kinds of old-timey locks, mystic bonds and wards and things, it looks more like a keyhole to you.
Okay.
Harris, you definitely see the Omega just
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
the entire
Yes.
Greek alphabet has been imprinted on your brain.
Right.
Gee, thanks. I thought it was because you knew I love rainbows.
Can't it be both? I'm gonna try to see if I'll just put like a little bit of magical energy through my fingers and touch the center of the watermark. Does anything happen?
No.
No.
You're not getting any...
When he does that, Eris is gonna reach over and like do a light, not a hard, but it is gonna be a knuckle punch on his hip and be like, and that was for fucking yesterday.
What?
I know it was you. I know you zapped us while we were falling asleep in class.
Don't fall asleep in class.
Don't keep me out all night, asshole.
Does the Omega symbol stand out to me for anything other than being an ohm? Like, or is it something we're going to have to do some more research on?
I mean, you'll probably have to do some more research to figure this out.
All right. Just as a wild shot in the dark, is it anything I recognize from anything with my parents?
No.
Okay. It can't get a yes if I don't ask.
Okay, I mean, we're gonna make note of it. I'm gonna make note of that right now in my little notebook here.
I was going to say that the only other thing is when you sort of try to detect magic on it, basically detect magic, you don't pick up any magical resonance. It's not a matter of not recognizing it. This thing just seems to be
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna make note of it.
a
that there was
specialized piece of stationery rather than something that is enchanted.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make note that we saw a symbol on a letter ostensibly sent to us by Paragon that had a symbol on it that we had never seen before.
I guess that means we're going to need the AI again.
Not necessarily. It's not super important. It's a watermark. That is 100% Victor talking.
I mean,
Like, we'll file it away, and if we see it somewhere else, then we'll dig into it deeper. But right now, it could be a stationery.
Mhm.
Right? He could have borrowed a piece of stationery from somebody else.
I mean, you're the guy who knows Paragon the best. Do you remember him doing anything with a... And that's just, kind of what you're thinking. Something that's sort of like scratching at the back of your head.
Right, so I don't recognize it at all beyond recognizing that it looks like a keyhole and also is the Omega symbol, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, then, I mean, I guess we can try to dig into it a little bit and see if we get any hits, but if we don't, it's probably something for some organization that he's a part of. What do you think, Daedalus?
Only thing that's coming to mind is that is a symbol in electronics for resistance. That's all I got. So, for what it's worth.
Well, I'm pretty sure on the hierarchy of authority in the United States, Paragon is basically the opposite of what the resistance would be.
it's
would know
the
better
be
than
all
us.
end all. The alpha and the omega. It's the be all end all. He's saying, don't question this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll file it away.
Simon, if you came up with something for me that could be titled The Rainbow Resistance, I will love you for the rest of my life.
Hold on, guys. Let me just.
I am Butterfly of Borg.
Nope, Balder, go.
No, I am Fluttershy of Borg.
No, definitely not that. No, definitely not that.
Something unicorn. I don't know.
No,
I got
no,
nothing.
no.
Pony shirt.
Nope. I'm putting a hard ban on us going down My Little Pony side tangent.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit.
That's
And
probably
since,
for the best.
yeah,
I'm so
probably.
glad I have to have my mic muted. I fucking snorted.
Since Eris seems to be the only one that ever wants to listen to me babble on about my inventions, I'm going to start telling her about this cool energy source that I dreamed up.
Oh, yay, I'm going to give you your coffee, and I'm going to be like, I brought you a piece of cake for breakfast.
Oh, that's nice. What kind of cake is it?
Well, it's shortcake, and it's got strawberries, and it's this gourmet thing that they do over in England, since we're dealing with English people. It's strawberries and mint and black pepper.
Oh, mint. Nice.
And look, I cut you the piece that had the J on it.
And is Climate hearing or seeing any of this, incidentally?
Oh,
I am.
like winking at him across and like giving him a thumbs up behind your back, like it's a good cake.
I'm just kind of going to raise my eyebrow when you talk about the J on the cake, though.
That's great. Thank you. But yeah, let me tell you about this power source.
I'm all ears.
Quantum entangled plasma. It's this plasma that you get into this weird quantum state where it exists between realities. And
Like the stuff in your blood?
No, more like the stuff in the sun.
Okay.
Anyway, you
Like
can.
that's her attitude. Like her first attitude is towards Julius is usually, how are you going to get that? Because he's always got the wildest. But before she could even think to ask, like, how are you going to get that from the sun? Because obviously he can't get it from the sun. He's probably got obviously he's got a different source. She's gonna be like, how are you? Okay.
Right, but I can use it for the flying machine. It gives near unlimited power, and it'll be
I thought we
reactive
were
enough.
that.
Well, it turns out that's a lot harder to harvest than quantum entangled plasma. There you go, Simon. I came up with a name for my power source for you.
I like it. It sounds very exotic.
Quantum entangled plasma. So is it like the cat, or is it like the protons that they shot through the board?
The Borg?
Whatever the fuck it was.
The board, the quantum entanglement experiment.
Oh,
When they shot photons.
when they were in two places at the same time.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
dual
remember this
slit.
episode. I'm sure I saw it. I don't remember it.
Look,
This episode of
Eris-
Science.
Eris is
Anyway.
not good at physics.
Yes. So imagine. Have you ever put a grape in the microwave underneath of a glass? So
That sounds awesome!
Yes, Julius,
What?
it's regular Saturday night. Who are you talking to?
if you put a grape in the microwave and you contain it under a glass, and then you turn the microwave on, the grape will start glowing with giving off plasma. That plasma is basically just a superheated gas. Well, the trick is if you get the gas to exist.
Bert has a question. Is this for real?
Yeah, this is for real. Yeah. It helps when I'm an actual nerd.
Go on.
So the trick is you get the gas to exist in multiple quantum states. That way it's both in our reality and not in our reality at the same time. Then it becomes self-sustaining and you can harness it for energy. I'm still working on the math. It's still very highly theoretical.
Can't you just be like a regular teenager and make like fucking moonshine out of fruit?
I did that when I was 6.
Victor is just gonna nonchalantly, like, while we're between classes, like, walking between two of the buildings that the school owns, I'm gonna be clandestinely, like, smoking a cigarette, and when I light it up, I just say, wouldn't that be ludicrously hot and hard to contain?
Yes. However, with the appropriate magnetic fields and the energy it generates, you can generate those magnetic fields. It's just that initial flashpoint is a little dicey.
Well, you let me know when you're going to do that experiment so I can make sure to be upstate visiting my dad.
What, you don't want to help? Genuinely baffled.
You know, technology's not really my thing. Things tend to act weird around me, especially if I get real nervous, like if I think I'm going to get incinerated.
Eris is gonna like shrug and steal his cigarette again and be like, I mean, if it explodes, I could probably take it at this point.
If he's talking about what I think he's talking about, you absolutely could not.
She's not gonna give you the cigarette back.
It's not going to explode. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You just lost your cigarette because she's trying to flirt and you're not helping.
So, I was going to say, it's Saturday.
Oh yeah, so we don't have class, Victor.
We don't have classes, but, you know, if you want to study in the library or
Make superheated plasma.
make superheated plasma, you can do that.
If it's actually Saturday, then I'm
grapes.
probably going to make plans to go out.
You had arranged.
I'm noticeably not eating the cake.
Oh, Eris feels bad.
Funnily enough, I don't, because I saw your reaction to the mint when you didn't know what it was.
I thought your cake was great, and I'm gonna eat all of it.
Wonderful.
Gonna say that you had made arrangements with Brickbat to set up a meeting with the Wolfpack this weekend.
I didn't realize it was that close. Awesome.
You know, but I have not actually written that scene yet. I have not actually prepped that scene yet, so, you know.
Well, I can tell you what I'm probably doing, because my normal thing is that I tend to front load all of my work into a project. So after we wind up discussing, I'm probably going to have a schedule of like all of the town hall, city council, you know, PTA, whatever, you know, all the funny government acronym meetings, as well as the time that we're supposed to have the meeting with the people, and like a schedule of which subway trains we could take to be there on time. So I'm going to do like
civically engaged young man.
I'm going to do like 5 hours of work at the very beginning, and I'm going to slack the hell off for the rest of it. That is my MO. I've loaded my part of the work. My part of the group project got done early, and then I can just slack the hell off.
Canonically, I have a little bit that I thought about with the cake. As we're walking around campus or doing whatever we're doing, when it comes up that Daedalus won't eat the cake because he doesn't like mint, I'll be like, hey, you know what's an interesting fact that I know, Daedalus? Hey, you know how some people cilantro tastes like soap?
Yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah, you've heard that? That's because everybody that it tastes like soap to is actually descended from a specific line of fae that cilantro was poisonous to.
Interesting.
And you have no idea if he's telling the truth or not, but he's selling it.
Hence why I said interesting. I'm mentally filing that away to go research it, because at some point I'm not going to be able to sleep and I'm going to have to look it up.
My boys are interacting.
And then if we don't have a prepared scene, I'm just going to say, Eris, do you want to go blow off some steam and you fight?
Oh, that always ends so well for you. That's her saying. That's basically her saying yes.
That's fine. I've been punched before.
Most recently by me.
Yeah. Does the school have a space where the students can spar with supervision?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I leveled up, so I have to justify getting a new move.
See? I got you, bae. So we're gonna go spar.
Okay.
When we walk in, the person watching the desk is probably gonna be like, "You can't bring a lacrosse stick in there," and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, right." And I'm gonna just tap it against the floor, and it turns into my magic staff.
All right. All right then. Just,
One of these days, Victor, you're gonna have to do that so I can get some readings.
Just any artifacts or above normal technology, be sure to sign in on the form.
Okay.
So are we rolling to see who wins?
Oh, absolutely, we're playing this out. Absolutely. So when I turn my staff into the correct version, from the lacrosse stick to the like slender, like blackwood staff, like you know what I'm talking about, like a half staff, one that's only probably a little under 3 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
My suit also changes into the red suit. Except for I don't have my domino mask on because you know what I look like. Are you gonna Shazam on here?
I don't know. I don't think she will at first.
Okay. Good luck. I'm gonna roll a directly engage a threat because right basically when the light turns green, that like we're in the sealed room where our powers can't escape. I'm gonna immediately cast a spell and just like try to whip her really hard with like force energy that comes out using my magic's signature style of like black, purple, like basically like a huge like octopus arm just like whipping out and pushing her away from me as hard as I possibly can.
Okay.
Bam, 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 bam. That's a 12 on my directly
Ouch.
engage a threat.
Oh,
Do I get to roll to fucking combat this?
Well, that's up to Simon.
Yeah, how does that work?
In fiction that works. In fiction that works because I said I didn't transform.
Right.
That was
Then
my
take
fault.
a powerful blow.
Right hand side, and we can't hear you. You're muted.
he said take a powerful blow.
No. Yeah, I was just yelling. I'm yelling at my roll 20. Like you weren't supposed to hear that one because I didn't know where it was.
Yeah. She said, "Where is it?"
How do I take a powerful blow? Condition.
Take a
There
powerful
we go.
blow is next to your condition screen. And roll 20 just crashed for me. Oh well,
Not for
you'll just have to tell me what. You'll just have to tell me.
I hit.
Wait,
I
you
got
said
him. I got him.
missing is good though.
Yeah, you want to miss on take a powerful blow, because if you take it, that means stuff happens to you.
A miss says that he missed you.
Yes.
You stand strong, mark potential as normal, and say how you weather the blow.
We're gonna say that.
How about it triggers your gaining the new move? Like this sudden, like how people get their powers when they're threatened by danger. Like something new shows up as a result of this.
Do I have to mark a condition?
No, because you
No.
passed roll.
Right. Well,
Or failed it, rather.
that's like it's a conceit of my new move that I took when I advanced my playbook. The new move I'm taking is called Thick and Thin-Skinned, and it means that when I have Angry mark, take +1 ongoing to unleash my powers. So I would need to have Angry marked. which I do not have, which is a damn shame because that would have been so thematic. But oh well. We're going to say that Eris in her waking walking life was not a gymnast, but like a cheerleader that did the flips and the jumps and stuff, and like she just flips out of the way. And that's how he missed. And he can fight her ass is what he can do.
Are you going to try to hit me back?
Yeah, then she is going to transform. So then I roll to unleash my powers, right?
I mean, unless if you want to kill me, maybe.
No.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Directly engage a threat is the default.
I know,
fight.
but my danger is 3 and my freak is 0. I was trying to give you a break.
Like he gave you a break with that 12?
Oh, sorry, my best friend. I love you. Rolled a 10. So I also got a full hit. Wait, how do you get a full hit and miss and
What?
like how do you succeed and still fail?
Well, you don't.
He did everything right with his attack.
Okay, I get it. It's just I did everything right with my escape as well.
Okay, so what I was gonna... Yeah, so I've got to weather a blow now, so let me get in now.
No one can hurt us better than the ones we love.
That's why it hurt so much when I was saying stuff in the past couple sessions.
Oh,
Oh.
so
Another...
Are you just gonna, like, haul up and try to, like, punch me?
Yeah, she's gonna come right out of the flip and like launch at you, transform in the air, and try to tackle you, and like go like soar and die as you step out of the way.
So
go ahead.
While you guys are going at it, Flaminier and I guess are up in the observation deck. I'm going to hand him a new communicator. Like, all right, A, don't break this one. B, I got an experimental video feature on this that we can try out.
Sweet.
So
wait, you're gonna have a viewpoint from my ear?
Not exactly, but we'll go with that.
Experimental. Okay, got it.
So as she's basically, I'm imagining she basically does like a sprinter's like off the line leap after she lands after the initial dodge and basically launches herself forward. That's what I'm imagining, right? Bridget, that's what I'm imagining.
Yes. Sorry, I was still muted.
So in the brief like half a second that I have to react before you're airborne, I just draw like cut through the glyph that I had made in the air in front of me, and all of the huge like energy arms, like the tentacles that were rippling out for me that I initially used to push, just grab all 4 of your limbs and immobilize you in the air, and I say, you have so much power, but if you come at people the same way every time, eventually it's going to get you killed. And I'm just holding her up in the air with my staff outstretched with like a pale purple light coming from it.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
That's kind of the joke, but it was trying to be a more serious scene because I'm completely immobilizing her with my powers, which is something that she would very much so not like.
Yeah, no, she doesn't like that at all. At all. Like, this is probably akin to the same shit as what Victor went through when Null Zone turned us all off the other day.
Yeah, and then I'll just touch my staff to the floor and just disappears and goes back. All the energy pulls back into the top of my staff, which is just like, it looks like obsidian. And then you just fall to the floor.
It doesn't look like it's going very good for Eris.
I'm trying to decide if she would start crying or not.
Oh, come on. Fight me.
Ready? She is. She's gonna start crying.
No. Come on.
No,
Like a
that's
scared teenage girl.
scared teenage girl.
Oh,
very
this is so
upset.
bad. You're gonna make me do the thing. Okay.
Yes.
I've seen this hentai too.
No.
No.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm waiting.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can't. None of us can afford to break down just because somebody has our number. Get up, fight me.
Damn, he called my bluff. Okay, she's going to like get up slowly and like just be like wiping her eyes or whatever, and she's gonna say, "It's a real dick move when you push people's buttons on purpose."
Every person that we're gonna fight.
And before he even like while he's still like trying to lecture her, because that's what Victor fucking does, she's gonna like sweep his legs out from under him, stab and also he lands on his butt.
Okay.
So there, dickhead. You want to be a talker? I'll talk.
That's fantastic.
We'll say,
Yeah, remind me
was
not to piss her off.
I was hoping he was going to come and try and like comfort her so she could like toss him over her fucking head. But if you want to be a talker, I'll be a talker.
Okay. So he slams hard onto like probably the padded floor in there, and the wind's knocked out of him, and he gets up and he is like super duper mad, and his eyes are ickered over like 2 nights ago.
She's looking at him smugly and just being like, "I love you. You don't scare me." Like, which like she thinks is like the biggest taunt in the world, but is probably like exactly what he wants to hear.
And his voice is like warbled, like it sounds very different, like it sounds like it's coming from somebody with a much taller, like with a much deeper voice. Like it's like he's not, it doesn't sound like his voice as you have ever heard it when he's casting magic. And
Okay.
he just says, "You should be afraid of me." I'm gonna roll Unleash My Powers.
Oh no! Fuck you! He hit me. You
On a
hit
7
me.
and 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. I'm going to let Simon tell me how it's unstable or temporary, where I just basically try to unleash my powers and just, like, throw her away from me and slam her against the wall.
Okay. You successfully do this, but I'm going to say that this unleashing of your powers was so draining to you that Bridget now has 2 actions during which you are effectively
Vulnerable.
A normal
Vulnerable.
person. A normal person.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, basically right after I do that, I basically like slump down onto one knee and I'm like half holding myself up with my staff, and my costume, which is an illusion I project over my normal clothes, is like flickering.
Oh, I don't want to do this.
Do what your character would do.
Well,
I know what my
if I might
I
interject,
don't want to do it.
him hitting you like that might make you angry enough to
No, because
mark the
that's
condition.
like, yeah, but like this is her friend and they're sparring and he's going too hard, and even though she is like act first, ask questions later, they were also in the middle of a conversation. And if I get to, like, I don't know what my 2 actions would be. Like, I don't want to hurt him, especially if like we're sparring and he just started playing for keeps. As someone who is a physical character, like we're sparring. I'm not going to play you for keeps. So while he's slumped, she's probably gonna like walk up and like take him by the face and be like, anybody that we come up against isn't going to wait for you to recover from exhausting yourself either, and she's going to open-handed smack him. Because he fucking earned that. Did we lose Dan?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No, I think he was just too rattled by...
A smack instead of a punch.
Oh. I'm going to say, friends, though, that I am getting awfully sleepy.
Same.
So
Aw.
it's gonna end in a draw. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's a
Is it
draw.
not going to end in a draw?
No,
I mean, that's...
it's a draw.
No.
You sly dog, you got him monologuing.
But yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good place. Then we're gonna do our thing with the that local group. What was the name again? The neighborhood friendly metahumans.
Maybe friendly. The Wolf Pack.
Wolfpack. That
Yeah.
was their name. Yeah.
Pistolero, I remember, was the name of that leader, I believe.
Yeah, I want to be somebody who can make finger guns that actually shoot. I mean, I guess I am a character that can do that technically, if I wanted to.
While I'm doing the research, which is probably actually going to impress Daedalus a little bit by the fact that I can work if I've got a reason to, I want to see if I can find out what their favorite kind of cake is.
Oh, jeez. But, yeah. Simon, do you want to sign us off?
Yeah, so thank you, everyone, once again, to the young Argonauts and to anyone out there in internet land watching Apex Academy. Thank you for watching. Is this where we say like, subscribe, and follow?
Yeah, all
I'm
that
new to
jazz.
this, so all of that. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you guys.
So long.